For me, dictation is an example of I'm a big fan of The West Wing. And in the first season, there's an episode called Galileo in which the president is going to be talking about a space probe. And he keeps saying, we want to talk about larger themes. And dictation does bring out, I think, a larger theme for indie writers because it's an experimentation that I'm doing. And as indie writers, we can do that. I did 4 books with Eli Marks for a traditional publisher. I've done 4 without publisher. And the amount of experimentation I could do with the publisher was, I want to say, nil. They either just weren't interested or weren't willing to support what I was trying to do. So I couldn't get information back, particularly in marketing and advertising. If you can't get daily reports of what's happening, you just never know. Whereas as an indie author, I can experiment. I can try dictating and it doesn't hurt anybody and it doesn't cost anything. And it's a way to get some new ideas in it. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I didn't think it would work for me. I don't think it'll work for all books, but it is that idea of let's experiment and try stuff. For example, this summer, I'm not doing any advertising at all on the books, but I'm just using TikTok and the occasional book funnel promo to see how does TikTok work for me and for my books. The short answer right now is not well, but it's been interesting and it's an experiment I afford to do because I don't make my living from my books. It's my hobby. But it's the sort of thing that I never could have done with a traditional publisher. I could have done it, but I wouldn't have gotten any answers at all as to whether or not it works. And because we are indie, we're more nimble. Back in your corporate days and in my corporate days, companies that were smaller could make things happen bigger than companies that were bigger. And we can do that. We can try something out. And you just have to not be afraid of it and just go, let's try this for a month and see what happens.